Good afternoon. It's been a little while since I've recorded, a couple of days. It's Usman from Team Physical. How's it going, guys? Consistency is the key. Any area of life that you want to think about this, it's applicable. Consistency is the key. Whether it's exercise, whether it's business, whether you're gardening, taking care of your plants, whether you're trying to learn a new skill, whether you're trying to get healthy, consistency is the key. Consistency is the absolute key. And it beats intensity. Now there's this tendency to believe that going into the gym, this is an example right now, I'm going to use exercise as an example, but going into the gym, blasting out a workout that's going to destroy your body, legs, arms, shoulders, chest, back, everything, deadlift, squats, 5 miles running, and the next day you're dead. Next day your body is crumbling. You can't get out of bed, you can't move. And then you don't train for a week, or a month, or 6 months. And then you give it another go. And the same thing happens again. So, consistency is the key. Consistency over intensity. Easily, all day. It's much wiser to take small steps gradually, to gradually progress, to take small steps consistently every single day, one step at a time, rather than taking 100 steps on one day and then just crashing. 100 steps, or 1,000 steps, boom, in one big burst, and then being too tired to walk any further for I don't know how long, for God knows how long. It's much wiser to take small steps. It's easier to be consistent with your training or your business. Well, I don't know, I'm not a business owner or anything like it, not yet, but I think this teaching does translate across many different areas of life. The one that I can definitely speak from with experience is exercise. Exercise also with meditation, mental health, spiritual growth, and physical health as well. Is that consistency is the absolute key. So when you're creating a training program for yourself, when you're thinking about your weekly exercise, or your daily exercise, try to avoid making things too intense for yourself. I know that it's very attractive to, it's very desirable to want to go and do some really, really intense workout. But if you're someone that's beginning off, if you're someone that's just starting off, and you're not used to exercise, and your body isn't used to it, and your mind isn't used to it, and you go in there and you absolutely destroy your body and your mind in the gym or outside the gym, the chances are is that you're going to fall off. You're going to fall off the wagon, you're going to fall off the horse very quickly. And in the long run, this is why it's important to think about the grand scheme, the full bigger picture. In the long run, you'll make less progress, because you'll take a whole bunch of steps forward in one go at one time now, but in a few months you won't be training anymore because you've exhausted yourself, and maybe you'll get injured, so you won't be able to train. But most likely you'll just lose motivation That's what happens. That's why most people start training in January when the new year starts, and then they just fail and they just fall off. They just stop by the time you're halfway through January, or by the time February comes, you're not training anymore. Maybe you want to get into yoga, or calisthenics training, or strength training, or bodybuilding, or powerlifting, and you go too intense. You go far too intense in the early stages before you've even had the ability to develop a habit. That's what's important, is developing a healthy habit. Developing the habit of exercise requires you to repeat consistently for about 28 days a month. It's not about how hard you train and how intensely you exercise for that period of time, but what's important is how frequently you train. Frequency over intensity all day. Consistency over intensity. It's not about having work. It's not about doing training that rips your muscles up and then you can't move the next day. That's become something that's very common, but it's not about that. In my opinion, it's not about that. From my own experience as well, what I can tell you works better, far better, is creating a training program for yourself that is far more friendly, I guess, to your body. Far more friendly to your body and your mind, where it doesn't take a lot of willpower to do these workouts and to do this training, because it's actually not too hard. However, what's important is that you just consistently challenging your body. Now, if you want to make miraculous changes to your fitness levels and you want to change your body completely, by all means, train hard. Like we should train hard. We should push ourselves. But there's training at 100% every day there's no longevity in that. Doing 100% every single day, there's no longevity in it at all. 70 to 80, maybe sometimes 90% sometimes, but mainly around 70-80%. If you can work around that area, that level of intensity, 70% of your ability, and you can do that consistently at first, just in the beginning days, for at least a month, and you can devote yourself to consistent training for at least a month, then you're cool, because it's about maintaining that motivation. And if things get hard for you, if your body starts getting too tired, it's going to take more and more willpower, and some of us have a very limited amount of willpower, so you have to be gentle with yourself and allow this process to happen slowly. Be patient with yourself and allow your training to be slower, more gradual in its growth, rather than all at once, all out. So if you want to start exercising, really, I invite you, please, take this advice on board and give it a go. 30 days, consistent training, and try not to be too intense. Try not to punish yourself with your training. Try to treat yourself well with your training. So you're going slowly and you're making gradual steps, so that you've built the habit. And once you've built the habit, and it doesn't take much willpower for you to get up and go and exercise, because it's become part of your life naturally. It's become part of the subconscious now. It's on autopilot, basically. It's part of your day. It's normal, it's natural, it's a habit now. Take the intensity up then. Take it up and start training harder then. Maybe take it up to 75% or 80% and work consistently on that for maybe a few months, and then take it up even more and work consistently on that. Do you know what I mean? It's about building that foundation first. Build a strong foundation, Build a healthy habit where you're not punishing your body, where the main focus is just doing something, doing some form of exercise that does challenge you. It does challenge your body, but it doesn't obliterate your muscles, doesn't obliterate you. And then gradually progress. Because if you take one step forward today and you do that every single day, and it's not too intense of a step, and your progression isn't too intense, then the chances are it's not going to be very hard for you to take one step for every single day of the whole year. So by the end of the year you would have taken 365 steps forward. 365 steps forward, that's amazing. That's amazing. As opposed to maybe 50 steps, 20 steps on one day that just exhausts you, and then 6 months later you do another 20, and then 6 months later you do another 20. So you've managed to do what, like 60 steps over the whole year? One step a day. One step a day, guys. Gradual progression. Same, like I said before, with meditation. You don't have to sit there and meditate for an hour. 2 minutes. Start with 2 minutes. Literally 120 seconds. Just 2 minutes a day. Start with 2 minutes. It's not frightening. You know, these numbers aren't frightening. They're very gentle. Be gentle with yourself. Think about the long run. You know, think on the grand scheme. It starts off very small. Things start off very small. You start watering your plants little by little, just a little amount, and then eventually more and more and more. But you start off very slowly. Very slowly. Don't worry about goals, you know. Don't worry about this dream physique that you want to develop, or being able to pull off a certain move to a certain ability level. Don't worry too much about the advanced level yet. You know, don't think about the advanced level, the advanced movements. Don't think about that yet. It's not time for you yet. It's not time for you. You're building fundamentals. Understand the importance of building fundamentals. Consistency is the absolute key. And if you don't have consistency, you don't have longevity. We've got to be thinking on a level of, how am I going to be consistently training for 20 years? 50 years? I want to be training for 50 years or more. So how can I train today in a way that's going to align with that? This isn't a phase. This is a change of lifestyle. This is a lifestyle right now. This is a way of living. Exercise becomes a part of life. This isn't a phase that's going to last maybe like 6 months, just until you get that, you know, you get a six pack or something. Just until you get abs, or you can fit into a dress or something like that. It's not short term. We've got to be thinking long term. We've got to be thinking 50, 60, 70 years in the future. You know, how am I training consistently so that I can have more longevity in my training, so I can train for longer, you know, so I'm not beating my muscles up. And your workouts become shorter. You know, your workouts become shorter, less intense, however far more frequent. So it becomes part of your day, and you won't be scared away. You won't be scared off by, oh, I've got to do this super intense workout today. You know, you can go about it in a more systematic approach, and challenge yourself too when it's time. Really challenge yourself when it's time. Really push yourself to the limit when it's time. But consistently taking small steps. That's the priority. Okay, so I'm a little bit tired. Maybe you can tell, I don't know, but I hope I got some good information across to you guys today. Thank you so much for your time. If you're looking for some exercises to get you started off on your physical journey, on your journey to developing your body and developing physical ability, check out my Instagram page. It's team_physical, and on there you'll find a list of loads and loads and loads of exercises, starting from absolute beginner to advanced, or more advanced, and yeah, get on there and maybe you'll receive some inspiration and some knowledge on how to begin, on how to start off, and when you do start, just remember that consistency is the key. Discipline, structure, repetition, mimic, just repeat, consistently repeat. You don't want to be like the rest of the people that are jumping on and blasting the body for a week and then what? What happens after that? We're not training for a week here, guys. We're training for a lifetime. We're not meditating for a week or a day. We're meditating for a lifetime. You're not going into business. You're not going after entrepreneurship. You're not chasing entrepreneurship for a month. You're chasing it for your life. For a lifetime. It's going to become your life if you feed it slowly. Slow growth. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Be patient. Okay, cool. So take care, guys. Have an amazing day. Enjoy yourselves. And just have a great time. Enjoy your day. Be consistent with whatever it is that you're doing. Consistent and patient. And progress slowly, one step at a time. And make things more intense for yourself. Make things more difficult. Make things more challenging. Maybe not difficult. Make things more challenging. But just slowly. Okay? So I'll do another video in future about how to progress certain movements, certain exercises, and how to create a structure for yourself so you can plan out this progression maybe over a few months or so. Set yourself a goal and slowly reach it. Patiently reach that goal. Okay, so take care. Have an amazing day. Peace.